This is a sweet new GPS tracking product, kind of aimed towards your motorcycle, but you'll see that it can be used for a lot of different things. Any kind of vehicle, pretty much anything you want to be able to track. The batteries last from several weeks to several months, depending on the update frequency you set. The app itself works perfectly. You fire it up, you see your vehicle, you can customize that. You can give it a name if you want, you can tell what kind of vehicle, whatever you want to put in there, you can do a customized picture. So it is truly a plug and play device. It took about a minute total from the time I unplugged it and fired up the app. It automatically found it via Bluetooth. You just hold the phone near it. It says, hey, I found your GPS. Would you like proximity radar? And it is exactly like it sounds. If you do the proximity radar, first of all, the app ping itself, it's relying on GPS, of course, but not super precisely. It's going to get you within about 60 feet, 50 at best, right? Beyond that, it uses Bluetooth, and that gets you down in foot, man. So here's the device, here's my phone. It's pretty darn precise. I don't know if you can read that, half a foot. I mean, it's inches away, 0.4 feet. Now it doesn't give you direction. It's basically hot and cold kind of thing, but this is extremely easy and fast to find it for those last 50, 60 feet. I have no problem with this whatsoever. And you can manually, just like a phone, tell it to make a noise while you're walking towards it. So finding the thing is not a problem. It has programmable, basically nanny zones. You can set a home location, and then you can set custom priority locations, and you can set basically a quarantine zone. And if the bike leaves any of those zones, boom, you get an instant notification. So maybe you dropped your bike off with a friend or at a repair shop or any place that, you know what, I want to make sure they're not out riding my bike kind of thing. Boom, you set up a little geofence area around that spot, and if it ever leaves that spot, you get a notification. You can see where it is, where it's been, all that kind of good stuff instantly. Very cool. Is a sweet new GPS tracking product, kind of aimed towards your motorcycle, but you'll see that it can be used for a lot of different things. Any kind of vehicle, pretty much anything you want to be able to track. Starting off, this is a company out of France called Invoxia. So what is this? Well, at first I thought it was just basically a battery bank with a GPS tracker built in, because the specs are really impressive. Several months of standby time and up to weeks of actual GPS tracking time. So I'm thinking, wow, that must be pretty beefy. But oh no! Haha! No indeed. It is actually smaller than my SSD thumb drive. This is it, right here. Little tiny thing. So on the outside, this is not waterproof, by the way, so can't get it wet, but that's the way most GPS trackers are. All you have is a mini USB for charging, and there's a little white light that will come on to designate that it's charging. There's no other physical button on the outside. There's a pressure sensitive dimple right here. You just kind of press it in, it makes a little beep sound. It doesn't actually move, but it's pressure sensitive, kind of like the force tap on the old iPhones. The setup is by far the easiest. It is the best possible. It simply worked. That's the best compliment I can give it. It's 4 easy steps. Number 1, you charge it. It's as simple as plugging in. They say from a dead charge, it takes 80 minutes. Mine was topped off in 20, so it came partially charged. And that's it. And you get a little, where'd it go? Little USB cable to USB, mini to regular USB. And that's all there is in the box. Step 2, you install the app on Android or iPhone. This is a phone or tablet based control. Step 3 is just launching the app, and it is a very simple, very fast process. It uses Bluetooth. Very simple, very self-explanatory stuff. And that was it. Step 4 is use it. So it is truly a plug and play device. It took about a minute total from the time I unplugged it and fired up the app. It automatically found it via Bluetooth. You just hold the phone near it. It says, hey, I found your GPS. Would you like to set it up? And then it kind of asks, what are you going to do with it? And here's what's cool. I told it it's primarily going to be on a motorcycle. And I got an email with customized instructions for some cool stuff that you might want to do with it on a motorcycle. So they've gone that extra step and given you some really easy training materials and videos right there as you're setting it up. And I didn't even need the stuff. It was all common sense. The app itself works perfectly. It's one of the very few utility type apps out there with a lot of great reviews. And I find Apple reviews especially to be pretty darn accurate. Of course, you have the outliers, the idiots out there that can't make toast. They're going to give a 1-star to the best apps out there because they don't know how to tie their shoes. I discount those kinds of things, but this legitimately is a great app. You fire it up, you see your vehicle, you can customize that. You can give it a name if you want. You can tell what kind of vehicle, whatever you want to put in there, you can do a customized picture. I just wanted the basics, get to the good stuff. The batteries last from several weeks to several months depending on the update frequency you set. It could be as short as, they say, 7 to 9 minutes or as long as a half an hour between pings. This is designed primarily for keeping track of your bike in somebody else's hands. They're very easy to hide under your seat, in a bag, stickied somewhere. This would be super easy to hide. Just put some double-sided tape or Velcro and put it up inside the saddlebag on the top where you gotta get down on the ground to even see it. I mean, the possibilities are endless for hiding. Basically, it's a stick of gum. Think of it that way. It tracks not only where your bike is, that's the default, but it tracks any kind of motion. So if you've parked your bike somewhere, especially around people, around crowds, I've come back to my bike on a trip and found complete strangers at a state park sitting on it and tipping it up and pretending they're riding it for photo ops. Just random people like, ooh, a motorcycle, I want to get some vacation pictures on it. It blows my mind people do that, but if I had this on it, I would have got an instant push notification, motion detected. It detects if somebody touches your bike. That is extremely handy. If you park in an office slot and maybe the world's best drivers aren't parking there and you're worried about maybe somebody backing into it, tipping it over, whatever, instant notification. Run out there, check out your bike. What the hell just happened? That is extremely handy. I'm not aware of any other device out there that does that.